What's up guys? Today we're going to be checking out 1994's Speed on 4K Blu-ray. This isn't a review on the movie itself, because you've probably already seen it. If you haven't, then go see it. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts on the video and the audio quality. Now before we get into it, if you're into home theater or want to keep up on the latest in 4K releases, then consider tapping the subscribe button for new weekly videos. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot on 35mm. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated R. Runtime is 116 minutes, and the aspect ratio is 239:1, so there are black letterbox bars. Now coming from the older Blu-ray from years ago, this new transfer has a more natural color palette. The older Blu-ray had a warmer, almost orangier tone in some scenes. I mean, there's still some warmth in certain shots here, but it's definitely more subdued now and I think looks more pleasant. HDR usage I didn't find to be all that spectacular, but it does help to give the colors a more natural appearance with its wider color spectrum. Again, it's not going to be a brand new vivid experience, but like I said, it brings some more naturalism to it. Specular highlights were nice enough, but nothing that's going to make you flinch. So all the explosions are decent with nice gradational tones, but doesn't exactly jump off the screen. Black levels were a bit more deeper and contrasty, and does help to bring out more depth to the image. And of course, detail gets a nice bump in clarity as well. Now, this was shot on film, so there is a light layer of grain throughout. There's some more refinement to things like clothing, where textures are tighter and more nuanced, and close-up shots do reveal more. Even though there is a noticeable increase in detail and clarity over the older Blu-ray, I don't think you'd mistake this for something shot today or want to break this out to impress your friends with how good 4K can look. If you were going to do an A-B comparison with the 1080p version, then sure, it'll probably impress your buddies.
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Audio is the same DTS HD 5.1 mix found on the older disc. And here's a little fun fact. Speed won the Oscar for sound back in 1995, so I guess they figured if it was good enough back then it should be good enough now. And yeah, it's a good sounding mix. Is it as dynamic as more recent movies shot today? I didn't think so, but for what it is, it's good. I do remember using this movie a lot to see how good my surround speakers were during the opening. If you've got a halfway decent surround setup, you should be able to hear Howard Payne working in the right surround speaker working as the opening credits end and the camera pans over to the opening door. There's also that scene where the helicopter flies from front to back and side to side over the highway. The surround effects panning was good back then and it's still the same now. As for bass response, it sounded okay, but most definitely doesn't do much to make your subwoofers work. The plane explosion has some decent low-end response, but audibly doesn't really match what you're seeing on screen. Like, it should have been more impactful. The only part I found was somewhat impressive bass-wise was towards the end when the subway is about to crash. This particular part should make your room shake just a little bit. I thought soundstage could have sounded wider as I felt it was somewhat shallow, although if you want to turn on Neural X upmixing or Dolby upmixing, that'll give the movie a much more grandiose feel. And dialogue was always fine and easy to hear. So for audio, being a 5.1 mix, I'm going to go with an 8.4. It's a solid 5-channel mix and sounds exactly as I remember it from back in the day. It's nice you get the original mix, but I would have liked to see what they would have done with an Atmos or DTS-X version. Still, it follows the action on screen accurately, but I would have liked a little boost in the LFE department. For video, I'm going to go with an 8.5. This is a nice upgrade over the older Blu-ray. Detail and clarity gets a nice bump, and it's an overall cleaner, tighter, more filmic experience. HDR was moderately used, but made the movie look more natural. It's not a 4K crispy transfer, and honestly, I think if you were to throw this on, you might just think this was a good-looking Blu-ray. I don't think that 4K would be the first thing to come to mind, but hey, that's just me. So tell us your thoughts on Speed on 4K Blu-ray. Did you think it was an amazing transfer, or was it just good? Leave a comment and let us know. Now, if you want to grab this disc, I'll leave some links for it down below in the video's description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to support the channel and get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again in the next video.